Is this thing live or what? Live, live, live. Hi, everybody. Welcome. Welcome in. Welcome. I'm glad you're here. We are at a wonderful... Oh, there's one of the guys that you know and you're waiting for. His name, Bartholomew Scoop. Look at this view today, Bscoop.
I see the sea.
You could have been Mary Sunshine in Chicago.
I'm Mary Sunshine.
I am coming to you from
Wow, Netanyahu land.
Netanyahu land.
Blah, 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 blah. It talks about on this week.
Right by the Cape Cod Canal. But this is like a what do they call it? Like an academy, like a military academy for the maritime.
Oh, 100%.
I didn't know all that. How are you?
Wonderful.
I just got a call. I have too many phone numbers
now. I was going to say, how's that working out having 16 lines?
Let me think. I have currently 4 active phone numbers.
But I have to say, I have been seeing people with 2, 3 lines. Everyone I know has at least 2 lines.
Yes. So I'm always ahead of the curve.
To that point.
Well, my aunt, who had that great number I told you, she just called me because Comcast, she hasn't changed that landline, which is now my cell number. Okay. She didn't change it with Comcast, so they were calling, and I figured I better let her know because they might be trying to install her new cable.
Oh.
Now, the way I have the phone set up, it's right next to my mouth.
It looks great. It sounds great.
Thank you, everybody. Thanks for being here. The program for you tonight.
Speaking of phones, though, I was going
at 422.
What's that?
Are you talking to me?
Yeah. Lucky.
Yeah, I'm here.
Oh, did I lose you or?
Oh, I don't know. I heard you saying something. I didn't say anything.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was going to say to you, Lucky, I said, now speaking of phones, I'm wondering, is there a way to, and I know there is, I know that these phones are capable of doing dual SIMs now, right?
Yes.
Yeah, but how do you, like I do too, like I have those 2 numbers, I kind of want to put them all on that one. But what I don't want, because I did give out the other number to like other places that aren't like necessarily, friends, family. It's like, just whomever, a business.
Well, it's now they have these eSIMs. They're just built in.
Right.
They're not even a physical SIM. And that's, I think, yeah, this phone, the 15, does not have a physical.
Right, it's all eSIM.
So I have 2 eSIMs right now active.
And how are you finding it working on one device? Because now online, this went back 2 years ago, the reviews. I mean, there are no real videos online of people trying this dual eSIM thing out where it's, because people were talking about, I want to keep all my personal stuff personal.
Yeah.
And they were saying they wish the iPhone had 2 different like interface. Like I want apps to look this way for work.
Yeah.
And on the clock, but when I'm off the clock, I want to have all the bells and the whistles that the iPhone comes with.
Yeah. Well, you can separate. I mean, the main thing with the dual SIM is the contacts, right? The people that so if you have business contacts in your phone, you can specify that you dial out and receive calls on either of the numbers. And you can set that for anybody.
Okay.
So that's one thing, and that goes for text as well. So it indicates you can label them whatever you want, primary, secondary. I think you can even just name it whatever you want, work phone, whatever, and it shows up that way. I've tried this before, and it's okay. I mean, I do have 2 different phones, so one of the numbers on the dual
Oh, you lagged or you dropped
actually
out.
turned off and turned into a digital number with
You
T-Mobile.
dropped out.
So
What did you
it
say?
won't even be on the eSIM. If that makes any sense to anybody. Am I
Well,
making sense?
you would have made sense if we could hear you. It dropped out, so.
Oh, it did. You know what? Let me turn off the Wi-Fi. Stand by, please.
Oh, stand by, please. H-O-G-G-O. Oh,
I think I have a good signal. I didn't do a speed test, which I probably should have done. I'll do it on the other phone.
gee, you've been
But
fine. You've been fine before, right there.
well, this is a different space. I'm
Okay.
actually down. I'm usually on the other side of that tower of the bridge.
Oh, all right. Gee,
And
when
you
they
know what? It is dropping down to 1 bar. So tell me if it's no good. I'll reposition myself.
when they say down the river, wow.
They sent me right down the river.
When they say going down the river, wow, I guess so.
And you know, I've driven by here so many times. I've never driven down this road.
It's a great
Well,
location.
Young not military, whatever it is.
Right.
Maritime.
Oh, yeah, the school is right there, yeah.
Oh, is that what it is? The academy. It
Yeah,
says the
it's
academy.
it's a college. Well, I guess if you want to call it a college, but that's what a lot of young folks like to do in this region. They like to attend the maritime school there
Oh,
right
okay.
after high school, usually.
I had no clue.
Mass Maritime, right? Massachusetts Maritime.
I think so. I mean, I just kind of
I know it's around there somewhere.
found it by accident. Oh,
It's tucked away, I mean, for sure.
there's only a huge sign. But, you know, a lot of times, sometimes, you know, really, like driving down Main Street here, I've driven down it dozens and dozens of times over the last year and a half. But the other day, I finally looked up at a building and I said, oh, I never looked up to the 3rd story before. Not that there was anything interesting, but I just didn't realize it had 3 stories. You know? Makes perfect sense to me.
Ding, ding. Well, it's a sunny day and you're out and about.
Yeah, well, I thought I was going to be doing something else today,
Yeah.
but I wasn't feeling great, so I decided just take it easy and
hey, that's what happens sometimes.
yeah. And you know, I had a little bit of an issue with the delivery. I think I told you.
Oh, yeah.
Do all these odd jobs, and I'm an odd person, and apparently the guy had no idea where his package was. It just happened to be 3 feet in front of his nose.
But it's
well, you got to look at the thing. Okay. Okay, Mr. Trump.
Okay, Bo.
I felt like saying, I know who you voted for.
Yeah, okay, Wiener Schnitzel.
Yeah, just simmer down now.
Simmer down, Abadale.
Sherry O'Terry, simmer down now.
Simmer.
So both of us have watched this wonderful documentary about Paul Rubens, a.k.a. Pee Wee Herman, most notably known as Pee Wee Herman. And it's on HBO Max. They're going back to the HBO Max name, which is good because every time I ask my Apple TV to open HBO, it says you don't have an app called HBO. So I'm glad they're going back. One of the most recognizable brands in the world, HBO. They said, you know what? Let's drop the HBO. Let's have a meeting. We'll send emails. We'll get voicemails. Have the secretary book Zoom. We'll pay them $500,000, $500 million, whatever they need. The budget is unlimited. We've come up with a solution. Drop the HBO.
I think they knew. I think he
there's
told
a guy taking a picture.
Oh, is he on cam? Oh, wow. Wow, he really is close by.
Yeah.
He's doing he's going to do what you're going to do and go live.
He might be looking like inspecting, like, what am I doing here? You know, like,
well, I mean, everyone is such on high alert. I mean, that is a hot spot region.
I don't know if I'm allowed to even be here.
Oh gosh, I didn't even think of that.
No, I mean, it doesn't say.
Gee, well, then they can come along and knock on your door and say you have to move it along, or
Move it along, lady.
right, move it along, ma'am.
So
Who
I'm
do you
going
call
back to
along?
this wonderful introduction.
What?
The introduction to the Pee Wee Herman documentary.
Oh, I know.
Do you have a little picture of Pee Wee you should put up in your little
Yeah, let me
box?
put it up there. Hold on. I
Yeah.
do have a
And
photo.
oh, good. I knew you
Yeah,
would. I'm getting
you know
to know your
me.
style.
You know me.
You've got style.
Oh, you got class.
Miami.
Mm.
There he
Here we go. Here we
is.
go,
Hi,
Lucky.
Pee
You
Wee.
like it?
Love it. Pee
Hi,
Wee.
guys.
Now,
Hi.
watching that documentary, he mentioned his extended family and his great grandfather, Herman. That was funny.
Yeah, that was funny. Now, don't forget, I clocked out on the first part. I mean, I watched it, what, a week? Not a week, no, a few days ago. Part one. Part two, I
Yeah.
just saw.
So what do you mean? You don't remember all about part one?
Yeah, I don't remember everything in part one, but
Well, that was, really that was sort of the more fun part,
yeah,
part one, and it was just,
I thought so.
reintroducing him, how he got started, and how the character came to sort of stand out because he was doing a lot of different characters at the Groundling, and it also surprisingly talked about his late teens, like college days with his
Yeah.
boyfriend.
I know. I was in shock.
Yeah, that he
Listen,
stole some of the Pee Wee voice from.
I know. I
Remember
said,
that?
wow, this guy was right out of the gate. I said, holy cow. And what did you think of like that whole thing where he talks about he was so out and openly gay, and then he went back in because he knew how the industry would
Fascinating.
operate.
It's fascinating because even as a young teen, he was very much himself, right?
Amazing.
Even from a young man, he was like dressing up and he was just out there. And remember, he says his father said, Joe and Matt, they're known homosexuals that you're hanging out with. He says, yes, father, I know. In other words, I'm one of them.
Wink.
But not, he really, it's very interesting. He was very out and open, but then, once he got into character, he saw the writing on the wall. I also wondered if he had a bad experience. I mean, remember, this is when Pee Wee first came on the scene. This is 1980s when all that stigma with HIV and AIDS and all that.
Yeah, you're right. For those who don't know the history
is important.
Yeah.
I mean, Christ, Rock Hudson was one of the biggest movie stars in the world.
Well,
and he, everybody had their say about him.
There you go. That's just it.
So for Pee Wee, which again, he was just a comedian, just a very artistic person. And he did drag and all of that stuff.
It was fascinating because I did not even know he was gay. I never knew that.
Right.
Until this documentary.
Oh, you didn't even know until the documentary?
Correct. I knew none of this.
Oh, but you remember him getting arrested?
Oh, yeah. I remember that, and then I don't remember the second incident that really kind of ruined him. They wanted to.
Oh, I don't remember that either, but I don't.
Yeah. You know what's funny too? But come the 90s, I mean, we were kind of doing our own thing. We were both in high school. So he was in Buffy the Vampire Slayer. These characters that he played in the 90s, he did a lot of work with Tim Burton and stuff like that. His buddy there with the Batman Returns and all that.
Right.
But I'll tell you, when he showed us clips of Buffy the Vampire Slayer, I said, oh my God, I watched that show in high school. I never knew that was him that whole time.
Yep.
That whole time. What a phenomenal actor.
Yeah. I'm just getting something out of my bag.
Unbelievable. So I was in shock over that. That's what really shook me.
Yeah, I mean, The Batman thing. I mean, that movie was huge, and nobody realized that was
It
him.
was huge. It was
Even
huge.
though it was, small part. But yeah, he did so many other things. Thankfully, he was able to, do other work because so many people are typecast, right?
Yes.
Like his friend Elvira, Cassandra Peterson. I mean,
Oh, I know. Oh,
she was able to. I mean, they both turned their characters into multi-million-dollar businesses.
oh gosh, yeah. Oh, well,
Licensing everything. You know what? I think I sent you a message. I don't know. Did it say in the documentary, if you remember, were those interviews with Elvira and all his friends, were they taped before or after he passed? I wasn't sure. I think they were referring to him in the past tense.
correct. So they may have, maybe with his passing, it might have greenlit. They might have gotten an extra green light to say, yeah, now take what he gave us, and then we're going to use his audio, but you can be the director because he was going to be co-director in the original one. Remember?
Well, no, that's the thing. He wasn't. He thought he was. He wanted to be. He wanted control.
Well, right. That's what I meant. Like he wanted control in the original.
And
that's what I meant to say.
That was not the deal.
Right. That's not the deal. Right.
Now let's see.
Oh, see that night. I think the live is gone.
Oh, I'm here.
Oh,
are we not live?
Oh, we're live. It just went. It hit pause for a second. I don't know why.
I opened up my earbuds that I washed in the washing machine because I wanted to see if they were going to work.
All right, try them out. Testing. Nope, it's paused.
Hello?
Hello?
Oh, they're horrible.
Thank you for calling. Oh, yeah.
Checking them out.
You sound distant.
That was terrible. Did I sound terrible?
Yeah, it didn't sound good.
No, these are. I'm going to throw these in the canal because. No, I just realized that the phone that I'm on is the 15, which has the USB-C cable, and my headphones are not that. So, Apple with all these cables and dongles.
I know.
I'm gonna buy more stuff. Oh look! I thought
we all will.
I thought that was Joe Mama. It says local hero.
Oh,
hello.
Where?
I don't know. Someone in the chat.
Oh, hello, chat.
We're coming to you from beautiful Cape Cod of America.
Right, Cape Cod of America.
Look at those guys in the little boat there. They're doing some fishing.
Oh, they're headed down the river.
And there's a big sign here that says commercial fishing for striped bass prohibited. I'm going to show you. Hold on.
Uh-oh.
I'm parked right in front of it.
Really? Wow.
And I don't know if those guys, where are they?
Yeah.
I don't know if they know this. Do they know this?
Well, you have to know how to read first.
Striped bass. Maybe that's not what they're fishing for.
Well, they might be trying to get rid of evidence or something.
True. That's very true, Bscoop.
Yeah. I'll see. Look now, something large just went into the water. Looked like a body.
We may be Bscoop. This was a plot of a movie.
Listen, I know, and
we're live streaming,
and we have to run for our lives in the movie because they now know that we have.
When is that going to happen? When is a live stream going to capture a deletion live?
Live. Oh, it's coming.
Dexter.
Oh, it's coming.
So part one of Pee-wee was really,
Yeah, it was fluff. I thought it was good, and
I mean, I don't know, but it showed you a lot of things of him again in school that we didn't know, that he was very open.
Exactly. That's what really shocked me. I think the most, because I just could not believe how open and carefree about it.
It came across as just like a regular documentary chronicling his start in his life and Pee-wee and all the success and how he really had a lot of balls to do the character in character all the time and kind of get rid of himself,
Yeah.
And then part two starts off kind of regular, but and spoilers ahead for those of you who haven't seen it. I think everyone should watch it because it's very touching.
Yeah, it really is. It really is.
You know, this was a documentary that the director and the producers wanted to do, and they wanted to control it. But Pee-wee, Paul Rubin, has never let anybody control his story before, and he's very protective. But I found that fascinating. You know, that he was so sort of afraid. Did you think he was afraid or something?
Yeah, I think that's what comes with kind of those kind of personalities, because in some ways, I could kind of relate to him.
Yeah.
And I think it's just, I think there's fear, insecurities about letting people in when you kind of let down all the walls. And there's that vulnerability, and I think you're onto something, though. I think they should look into it and come up with another installment or another documentary. Well, maybe not. It could, tarnish everyone's memory of him, but I think something traumatic may have happened to him, or he did, I'm sensing there was some sort of trauma there, probably, though, to have that kind of.
I think there could be a part 3. I don't know what it would look like, but because, again, spoilers ahead, he did not tell anybody that he was sick.
And somebody knew.
Well, somebody had to have known, but maybe he didn't even know that he was going to pass until the end. I mean, I've been around that a couple of times now, and people, they don't think, today's or tomorrow, or you know what I mean, even if you've been sick for a while. But I think, who knows how he was battling it? Was he doing aggressive treatment? Was he not? Was he
Well, that was my question too. Like, was he doing any treatment at all? Maybe he was, maybe he wasn't. And if he was, who knew? Was it in home? Was it out of the home?
And how. But the thing is, okay, I don't know the time period from when they started, but it says for part 2 that also not only did they not know he was sick and was going to pass, he stopped cooperating with the producers. He stopped sitting down for interviews. And so part 2 is a little all over there. It's a little clumsy.
It is a little. Yeah.
Yeah.
And people will do that. They'll push people away sometimes because they don't want to hurt your feelings, so they tend to push people away. And that's another thing a lot of people do when you look at the psychology of humans. We will do that. We'll push people away that we might be working with, or we have some sort of a close, in whatever way, friendship or work-wise, the silence begins, and it's like, oh, that's so strange. So-and-so never called me back.
Yeah.
And it's a defense. It's a coping skill. It's a built-in coping thing, where. Yeah,
I agree with that. Now, there's people that have just stopped beside me. One of them's coming into frame.
Oh gosh, look at him, will you?
He's taking a picture of the boat. The boat, the illegal boat fishing.
If this guy jumps in,
and there's a wife in the car.
She's miserable.
You can't see her. But there's only
just left Provincetown. This is the worst vacation ever.
There's only 1,000 other spaces open. There's a pool right next to you. You know how that goes. But this is a great little spot. I realize people are coming here. One guy was asleep in his car and was pulled next to him. I said, "Oops."
I can't.
I get myself into the craziest situation. I'm going to just start streaming 24/7. Fuck it.
I was just going to say, I don't even know why. You don't need a recording on Twitch. Just have it on.
I'm telling you. That's where I'm headed, because I'm going insane. Gary's back for another shot.
That's what
the boat is drifting.
Listen, I know where you are too. There's 5 million spots you can stand in right now. It's not even summer.
I wish I had my binoculars. Oh, I think the wife was going to give him a "how do you do."
Oh, you know it.
What does that say on the side of the boat?
It says, "Do not jump in or take photos."
Yeah. Well, he's looking at me because I got the camera set up. Oh yeah, the guy in the boat's looking at me. I've got the camera
Really?
glued to the. Well, I look like a television. You know what it looks like in my car? Television studio. All the tripods and suction cups, dash cams, 3 different phones.
Oh my gosh, I know.
I'm absolutely out of my mind.
Oh my gosh.
And I said to myself, "Oh my God, if I get another phone, because I realized that when I transferred that number into T-Mobile, they have a promotion that you get a free phone when you transfer a number in. So don't you think I'm going to tell them to send me a phone?
Oh, you better believe it.
You better believe it. I'm just waiting till the dust clears. They said Wednesday, which is today, they were going to call me to make sure everything went through. And it looks like it did, except there's one more step with the digital number, but that's fine. And but I want the phone. I want the free phone.
Someone's got to just press the button already.
And do they have a Pee Wee Herman version of the iPhone? I got to tell you, I see a lot of myself in Paul Rubens and Pee Wee. I kind of really related to him in a big way. I don't know. I mean, we know each other, but knowing myself since birth, I really related to a lot of. And he's still taking pictures, and he's sitting back in the car, and he's still taking pictures of that little boat. Why is he taking so many pictures of that little boat?
He's obsessed. This guy's obsessed. It's like Pee Wee.
I'm going to turn the camera. Look at him. He's taking pictures. And the wife is like, "Why are you taking pictures? I want to go.
I could care less.
I want to go get some clams. Touch my clam."
It's my clam.
Oh God, I'm crazy as hell.
You're right. You know what's funny? I thought of you too, though, at one point watching. Isn't that interesting, though? I really did.
Well, I'm happy to hear that. Oh, he's back. There's another boat coming on the other side.
I am being so distracted by all the visual. It's like it's out of control. You picked the wackiest spot. That boat is some sort of a decoy. It's probably surveillance for the school. They're trying to get rid of the evidence against Karen.
Well, how could they be fishing and the boat is moving all around like that?
Well, now come on, exactly. 2 + 2 doesn't make 8.
I'll tell you why one of the reasons I relate to Pee Wee, but there's a lot. Paul Rubens, not only the first name, I'm Paul, he's Paul. But I think I was much more confident when I was younger, and I allowed people to, and it had to do with my career. Now, I wasn't trying to be a star or anything, but I did work in broadcasting and radio and yada, yada, yada. And I did get a homophobic vibe from people. And so I kind of did hide part of myself. And that was detrimental to me, I think, looking back. I'm looking back now. At the time, I made the choice that I made or whatever, but, we make the choices that we make. And I just find it so fascinating. And then as the documentary goes on and his non-participation, you wonder, because they show these outtakes of him sort of going back and forth with the producer off camera. You wonder, are those, because is he really kind of feuding with the guy, or is he just being himself? Oh, look we got more people. I picked the spot.
Holy, what the hell?
I wonder if they're coming down to see my show live because they know where I am.
These are all of our fans.
Oh,
she knows you, she says. I'm going to look back. She says, let's act casual.
Yeah, well, because I have the phone is mounted to the driver's side window. So it's pointed right at them. Do they know this? I mean, they must.
It's the director of the HOA, probably. She owns that road.
I mean, I do have press on the back of my car.
Do you?
I'm doing the story. I'm reporting live from the
Oh, it's
Gulf.
probably some hush up
So the AirPods are no good.
Yeah,
But I
no,
just found it
I
very
agree with you.
interesting
Yeah,
with Pee
those
Wee
feuds.
because
Was he?
the
Was he not? Was he?
yeah, and the sarcasm, I relate to that
Right.
100%,
Yep.
1,000%. Did you send me something about sarcasm? Oh no, that was my other friend from the
No.
station. She sent me an article about how sarcasm is becoming, the way to deal with everything because we're just so
Really?
overloaded. Yeah. And I don't know if that's a good thing or bad thing. Some people think sarcasm is sort of
Terrible.
mean, right? Terrible.
Well, it
I
can't.
never
It
saw it that
can.
way. Yeah, I thought it was more comedic, but
Of
with
course, I do too.
with Pee Wee, he was battling with this producer and almost I can't think of the word. He was trying to manipulate him. Oh, the guy's back with another fucking photograph.
Oh
This is
my
gonna. I'm
God.
about to throw him in the canal.
You're going to have to get out and interview everyone. What is the
I,
fascination with this canal?
it's beautiful, I guess. The same
Yeah,
reason
well, it
I'm.
is beautiful. That is a great location.
Yeah.
I
And
agree with you.
so with Pee Wee, with Paul Rubin as a person, I mean, he's facing his humanity, right? And those incidents that happened to him when he got arrested, it was so. I look back because also the connection to Florida. And at that time, you have to understand that Florida was cracking down on homosexuality. That's where Anita Bryant started her crusade. Remember Anita Bryant? The orange juice lady. I mean, we don't remember her. We were kids when
Right.
it was like the mid 70s. But that continued. Florida used to have
Yeah.
these rest stops, and you know what happens there. And
Yeah.
so because that was happening with men, they got rid of all the rest stops in the southern part of Florida because of
And
all
this
the
is why
activity.
no one's allowed to rest anymore. Did you know that?
Is that why?
Yeah, nationally, it's banned. That's why you go overseas, they have a tea time.
Yeah.
Well, everyone gets at least an hour off. And you've been to England, or
No, I wanted to go. I should have went.
yeah.
I should have went
But
by
they're doing like
myself.
2 o'clock, 4 o'clock every day, like
Oh
clockwork.
yeah,
No,
everything stops. And
everything stops. Everyone has tea, but some people choose to take a nap or
right.
get that errand done, or go to the doctor or get
Well, I
something.
watch a lot of British television, as you
Yeah.
know, and also there's a show set in France, Emily in
Uh,
Paris, and they discuss that where they take a break and then come back later in the day, which I think is very smart. But we're Americans; we have the best of everything, except we don't have any health care and no money and not a raise and nothing.
Everyone's broke.
Everyone's broke, paycheck to paycheck. It's not even paycheck to paycheck; it's day
No,
to day and hour to hour.
it's just day to day now. It's all
You know how
repeat.
much I paid in fees for overdraft fees? I could have bought
Oh,
another
they know.
car.
Yeah.
I thought there was a limit to that. I guess Trump got rid of it. Anyway,
Well, thank
yeah, Paul
God.
Rubin, Pee Wee. Pee Wee. And, but
I
toward the
love
end, he
people.
stopped participating. And it
Yeah.
was interesting because then he was getting sick. Maybe it was because he was getting sicker and sicker that he stopped participating. Who knows? We just don't know. But he did. This is what punched me in the gut. The very end, he recorded a voice memo the day before he
Yeah.
passed that he sent to the producers, right? And he basically said, and his voice is very weak, and he basically said he wanted people to know that he was a very loving person, and he wasn't what the media made him out to be when he got arrested a couple of times. It was all a big misunderstanding, really, in my point of view. The second thing was the vintage homoerotic sort of muscle magazines that he had from like the 40s,
Yeah.
50s. I mean, that was such an overblown nothing,
Oh gosh.
you know. And they're saying it was. I mean, it's just I've seen those sorts of things, and particularly going back to Florida, there was a radio show host who had a similar thing in an adult movie theater, and I just go, but if the adult movie theaters aren't illegal, what's the
Right.
problem? I don't understand. Like,
Well,
I
that's
know
what
that.
I don't. That's what I never understood about the story, even when it first broke all those years ago. And I remember someone telling me, I said, it just didn't make now as an adult, of course. It really doesn't make any sense.
No.
Because you make a good point. But if he's at a legal establishment, what do you expect? The movie theater is an adult movie theater.
Yeah. I want to know.
So I've always said that. It's sort of like a setup, if you ask me.
Oh, it's a big setup.
Or
of course
a
it is.
cash grab of some kind.
It's entrapment. It's all of those things. I mean,
Yeah.
it's that old school thinking, you know, it's really
horrible.
You know, let people be. I mean, give me a break.
Yeah. Well, yeah, exactly.
So he said in the end, he said he wanted people to know he did everything, you know, sincerely and with love, and it wasn't anything, you know, to do with anything that they made up. And I really, you know, I really felt badly for him, I guess, in the end.
Yeah. I did too. It's so sad.
Yeah.
That's
because
what
how old was he? What was he, like 65?
Gee, I'll look it up.
I say, I got my other phone.
Not old, that's for sure.
No. Not old.
70 years old.
He was 70?
Yeah.
Wow. Oh,
whoa,
my Lord.
Not old.
Not old, but I didn't even think he was 70.
No, wow. It was great.
Yeah. Did you find the stuff about Phil Hartman interesting? Because Phil Hartman,
I really did. And that's what also made me sad to see Phil, because I loved Phil on SNL in the 90s. And it's funny because I used to watch Pee Wee Herman, that TV show, religiously every week, every weekend. And then in the 90s, I watched SNL religiously every Saturday night. And Phil Hartman was one of my favorites. I mean, I had VHS tapes stacked up galore of the SNL. I mean, that's when all through the 90s, I recorded that show every week.
Me too.
It was insane.
It was must-see television.
It really was. It was something else that we'll never have again. It's a time in our history that's just wow.
You know what I also found interesting with Phil Hartman was that he came up with those other comedians, but he was like a graphic designer, and he wasn't even sure of his talent. And I thought, wow, somebody like Phil Hartman, who is like a talent, like a once-in-a-generation talent, really. He was insecure about his ability to perform in front of people, and I thought, wow, I better get going.
Yeah. Well, that's what I was thinking too. I said, whoa.
Get on that boat right there. The boat is back, everybody.
Get on the boat.
But they're smoking cigarettes next to me.
Oh, is that what they're called now?
But the Phil Hartman angle, because Phil also badmouthed him, which I didn't know.
I know. I didn't know that either.
He helped, he felt... I opened it up by mistake. Sorry. Phil Hartman helped create the Pee Wee Playhouse, but he didn't get any residuals, I guess, or whatever. At least that's what he said. I don't know. And then when Paul Rubens got arrested, he said it was, depraved behavior, whatever the word was. I thought that was pretty bad.
I do too.
Some of the people in the cast of Pee Wee's original production felt like, I mean, it was Paul Rubens' creation. It was his character.
Oh, that's just it. I mean, he probably even knew, like, this is it. Like, this is what they want. I'm never going to have anything bigger than this.
Yeah. But I think the other cast members maybe wanted more money or more something. I don't know.
Well, isn't it funny? Because then Phil Hartman goes on to be one of the biggest geniuses in the 90s. And of course...
Yeah, well, that's what he said. He said, he had Saturday Night Live, so what was the big deal?
What's the big deal? I mean, he had it made after SNL.
Now the people in the car next to me are looking over here because they see the camera. They think it's pointed at
I know,
them.
but I think it's odd that people are freaking out over phones when every person has a phone attached to their dash cam, pretty much.
Yeah. Well, this is on the side. This is against the driver window, not the windshield.
Oh.
Oh, I have my other. I'll take a picture with my other phone and send it to you.
And this boat is like, okay, what's this guy doing with the surveillance?
Yeah. Oh, I'm going to be arrested, no doubt. Yeah. Because just look at me.
Oh.
I don't know. There's funny business everywhere I look. I bet I'm going to have to take a Purin tablet. Oh, God.
Oh my gosh. Wait, did you you just texted me? Oh my God. Okay, well, no wonder. Look at the school. Oh my God.
It's insanity around here. I'm telling you. Absolute insanity.
Oh, this guy on that boat. Oh my! Why is that bridge up?
That's the train bridge. The train goes over that bridge.
Oh, I did not know that.
Yeah, that comes down.
Okay.
And the train will go over it. I think I recorded it one night somewhere.
Oh.
But it's, you don't see it often. There was a woman sitting there and she says, I've lived here 25 years. I've never seen it come down. Why?
Well, it's not a constant thing though, the train, that's why.
No, but I think they were trying to bring this railroad back to life, but apparently they're having problems. I don't know, getting people to drive the trains. Nobody knows how to do anything anymore.
No one wants to do anything.
Nobody wants to work.
No.
They were over Martha's Vineyard, the ICE agents. Did you see that?
I did. And all they gave it was a 2-second coverage.
It's unbelievable.
I said, well, okay, that's interesting. We're tiptoeing around it all, but that's fine, I guess.
Well, Mayor Wu was on GBH radio this afternoon.
Oh.
She's on like once a month.
Okay.
And she was talking a little bit about it, and it's obvious retaliation.
Oh yeah.
That they're going after these areas, Martha's Vineyard, like when they sent them up. Remember, they sent a plane load of them or something to Martha's Vineyard and all that. And it's just, it's just petty. I mean, these are human beings. They're just trying to get it. And who's going to work in those jobs over in Martha's Vineyard?
I've got a question. I was just going to bring that up just really quick if you wanted to go into it. I don't know if you do. Lucky, that's my question. So you're going to see as this summer rolls around now, the people that did vote for, you know who, and they find out, wait a minute, my help now, no white person will work for me. No American will work for me. Nobody wants to do the bed sheets.
Well, this is where I think AI and automation could come in to help us if we did it properly. You see, taking away the minutia jobs, you know what I mean? The shitty jobs, so to speak.
Yeah.
And get some of that. We got to move forward. We got to evolve. We're not evolving. I keep saying.
Oh, we do 100%, and I agree with you.
Look at poor Pee Wee. Couldn't even come out.
Yeah, but you could also, though, I would do that job if it were starting at $25 an hour or $30.
Well, that's just it. It has to be.
They're not going to pay though someone $25, $30. Most places won't.
Well, then they got to go out of business.
Well, that's just it. They're charging enough for a room. I mean, close to 500, if not more a night. Most places now.
Yeah. Where? Martha's Vineyard?
Oh, sure. Martha's Vineyard?
Oh, yeah.
Don't you think? I don't know.
Well, I don't know. I would say yes, I do think that, but I
Yeah.
just have no frame of reference.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah. I'm just throwing out like a number. I know it's not $90, that's for sure.
Yeah. There's no Motel 6 over there.
No, and even Motel 6 is going to charge you two something probably.
Mm.
I don't know. But I think it'll be interesting to see the fallout and the trickle down effect impact it will have as far as who's supporting the current this current agenda.
Yes, trickle down.
Because it will. Eventually, those who did vote for him will get pissed off because they're going to find out, well, wait a minute. Well, why? And they find out, oh, well, that's because you just got rid of like half the population.
Well, and there was one place that I drive by almost every day on my way to the gym and to the car wash. I don't know what kind of business it is off the top of my head, but I do know that he had a lot of Trump flags, like just loads of flags and signs. He was even selling T-shirts. He'd say, "Come inside and buy merchandise for Trump."
Okay.
Well, all of a sudden that's gone.
Yeah, interesting.
I think it's because his business is probably suffering because of the tariffs. I think it's something to do with automotive. I'm not sure.
There you go. That's a good right. The tariffs.
And I feel like calling him up and saying, "What happened to all the Trump stuff?"
Right, I'd like some.
Yeah, I'd like some, and then he'll tell me that.
I thought I'd convert.
Because it's like going from maybe people just weren't coming to his business either. That's the other thing.
No, they weren't, because anyone that supported it or wanted it already had come and gone. I mean, how many times can you go into Bozo the Clown's store and buy it?
Well, but people don't want that.
It's garbage.
That garbage.
And it is. It's hateful.
Oh, brother.
Well, that's just it. And Pee-wee wouldn't want that either.
Oh, I was going to ask you, what's your final overall sum up what you thought of the Pee-wee Herman Paul Rubens documentary? Sum it up.
Well, I loved it. I loved it a lot. But I will say I was more upset with how it all ended, because I was more upset than anything after it was over. I mean, going through it all was just very interesting and just like, oh, I never knew that. And then seeing reminiscing about the TV show, and then me seeing the whole Phil Hartman thing, and seeing how Phil Hartman's life is over as well, how that ended so tragically, and then with Pee-wee, that whole voiceover thing was just, oh man, it was so heartbreaking for me, because it was just...
It was. It really was for me. It just punched me
somebody. I just said, my word. It's just, you never know, even when you do have a illness. It's like you say, you just don't know when you're not waking up the next day, I suppose. It's just so sad, and it's unfortunate. But
it's another reminder, though, too, that life is short.
Yeah.
I liked it too. I liked it.
Yeah.
I liked it overall. It really told me a lot about him. I mean, he was, I was a kid. I was a little bit probably older than the TV show, but I loved Pee-wee. I loved the movies.
I loved both films too. I was shocked Big Top was a flop, because I saw that movie about 50 million times.
I don't remember the story. It's so funny you say that.
I saw both movies. I loved them. I rented them every week.
I think what people were disappointed is they wanted to see a continuation of him in that story of the house. You know what I mean? It took him out of that, and it didn't really continue the story.
Oh, okay.
I think that to me is kind of what I remembered, is that it wasn't the same story, but it could have worked. But and then he did another one. Did you see the more recent one he did on Netflix?
Yes. Yeah.
Where it was like they used that like Photoshop for video on his face because he aged. But that was fine. It worked. These guys are still trying to find the boat. They're trying to find
tell
the
me
fish.
he's going to get out again.
No, they left, thankfully.
Oh.
You can't see the boat. It's just out of frame, but they're looking all around. They're trying to touch the clam.
Don't touch my clam.
Those two.
Clam fingers. Oh.
Clam fingers.
Clam fingers. No, so that's my summary, I guess. I did love it, though. I think everyone should check it out. It's, again, 2 great viewing experiences we've had.
Yeah.
And we've gotten to talk
The
about
Last Showgirl and Pee Wee Herman as himself, Paul Rubens. And now there's another one that I finished that I want Bscoop to watch.
What is it?
It's called Beau is Afraid.
Oh, sounds awful.
It's the one with Joaquin Phoenix. It is awful. It's crazy.
Really?
Joaquin Phoenix, Patti LuPone, Parker Posey's in it. I'm not kidding you.
Oh, my favorite.
Yeah, it's it's 3 hours long. I watched it in like 4 chunks because it's very confusing, and it was a big flop, actually. It's from a couple of years ago. But it was a huge flop. But it's fascinating. I wanted to see, where is this going? What is it all about? But it starts off crazy. It doesn't let up and ends insane. And Patti LuPone comes in at the end. I mean, especially right now, Miss LuPone is getting pwned because of what she said recently about Audra McDonald, which I don't even know. The whole thing is blown out of proportion.
Well, wait, what's going on?
Apparently, Patty did an interview with, I forget which magazine. It might have been, I don't know. You'll have to look it up. But in the interview, she says bad things about Audra McDonald and another actress.
Wow.
And people are saying she's being racist and bigoted. And Patti LuPone.
Because you don't like someone doesn't mean you're a racist.
Well, you'll have to look at what she said in the context. I mean, I didn't read it. I'm just seeing people's reactions. I'm not saying one way or another, but I mean, this is legendary Patti LuPone. But apparently,
it is legendary, yeah.
But people, even her fans, are turning against her. So
really,
yes.
Oh,
yes. So I don't know what to say. So Beau is Afraid. I don't know. I think it's on Prime.
Okay,
I don't know if you'll get to it, but if you have a suggestion, even if it's something we've already seen, we can do one of yours.
Oh yeah, I'll have to look through what I've seen. Maybe what you've seen. I don't know.
Oh, I just got a friend suggestion on Facebook of somebody. I think I don't know if I knew. They look familiar.
Well, who's this person? They want to know where you are, and they wrote to you on this live.
Oh, who's that? Hi, where are you? Oh, that's my aunt
Judy.
I'm down at the Cape Cod Canal.
He lives there now.
The bridge way over is the is that the Sagamore Bridge?
Uh-huh.
I think it is, yeah.
Yeah. That's the Sags.
This first one is the train bridge.
Yeah, do you know the name of it, or does it not have a name?
Oh, it has a name. Yeah, let me look it up.
Bingo is its name.
They have a whole history. They have a whole plaque over there.
You know what I was going to say is, you know what's fascinating to see about anyone's career? Usually people like Pee Wee.
Yeah.
And other creatives like this. Like I thought of like John Waters. I think of a few others, but I think of those in like that do move. It's so rogue and raw when they first start out, and they're just right out there, and it's so unfiltered and just raw and edgy and just I don't really care. And there's that turn of the screw, like F you to the world kind of attitude that a lot of creative people do have.
Yeah.
When they start out, you know, like their teens, late teens, 20s, 30s, 40s.
Well, there's a naive, bravado that we have. It's not even brave. It's just you're naive to some things, so you have this confidence. You know, this young confidence.
And it's wonderful to have that because that's what shoots you into projects and gets
I
you.
agree.
It gets you into the gigs, and then it gets your foot in the door, and then you can fine tune things because you see like people like if you end up working with like say Patti LuPone, you say, "Oh, gee, look at her work ethic," and that, you start to pick up on the energy of the room and all that, and people coach you along the way, which I think is always great too.
By the way, for those of you asking, I am in Buzzards Bay by the Cape Cod Canal, and the name of that bridge, Bscoop, you're not going to believe the name of this.
What?
Cape Cod Canal Railroad Bridge.
Really?
It's a very creative name.
Yeah, I was going to call it the Choo Choo Bridge or the hot dog bun.
Very popular for the fishers.
Yeah, I've heard that.
And the walking trail.
Or Jumper's Lane.
Not too busy. Live at 5. It's 5:15.
Live at 5.
Can you believe how the time goes? I think my aunt came and wept. I don't know. I didn't see her in here, but
well, that's whose friend requesting you as well, probably.
It doesn't give the timestamp.
It's
I could have invited her.
unfortunate to me. It's it's also what it also brought up for me was that unfortunateness of wow, young folks don't get to experience the TV like this.
I'm sorry. What were you referring to? The TV like what?
Well, his show was such a hit.
Oh, Pee-wee. Yeah.
And it was so creative, and it was just so imaginative, and it was really was a welcoming TV show of all kinds. And, he was right when he said, the jokes that would go over the kids' heads. Well, they went over my head. And I remember a lot of those episodes they did show, and I said, oh, my God, I get the innuendo now.
Yeah.
No wonder my mom and dad was sitting there with me. And they were in stitches, and I'd be like, well, why are they laughing? I don't understand what's going on.
What about that holiday special with all those people?
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
What about who's the black woman that was the meal lady? I loved her.
Oh, yeah, she's famous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But see what I mean? It was all inclusive.
Well, that's what Pee-wee was. He was all inclusive,
Wow. And I was really shocked that he was in Soho too. And I really did feel bad that they did that. When I thought it was a simple request, he really should be in a proper studio. It's a hit show.
Oh, at the beginning. Well, before it became a hit, I mean, I think he wanted that nitty-gritty feel of New York. That's what I kind of got from his impression. And then once it became successful and they wanted more and more shows,
right?
They didn't know that it was going to go beyond the first season. So that's when he said, we got to move it to LA where everything is, proper production-wise, because it is exhausting when you don't have the proper setup. Yeah, I thought that was an interesting little tidbit.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of interesting tidbits.
Lots of interesting. I love to hear that stuff. I mean, of course, you don't ever hear this stuff until, of course, someone's, retired or they've passed away. But usually most of them pass away because they'd probably find the best lawyer and they would own HBO. You know what I mean? And I don't know who's really around now. Well, clearly no one. They all need as much camera time as possible. And anyone that was
But remember, it was HBO that helped his star as well because they filmed the off-Broadway Pee-wee or the was it off? No, it was in L.A. It was the first one was in L.A. and they filmed it for HBO, and that's what brought him to a huge nationwide audience. And then, remember he said that?
Yes.
So it was HBO that really started his national career, and then it was later they redid the show on Broadway, and HBO taped it again, which it was basically the same show, but it was done in the last 10 years? I don't remember.
I think so, yeah. Last 10, 12, right? And then Mr. Fishburne himself, as a young man, started out.
A lot of young people on there that became stars.
Wow, I said, I didn't even make that connection. Isn't it funny? Again, there were a lot of things I just didn't make those. But why would I, though? I mean, it's not like Fishburne's on my mind.
Yeah. What about that HBO? I guess it was a miniseries with Mike Douglas and Matt Damon, Behind the Candelabra, about Liberace.
Oh, yeah, I saw that one. Yeah.
That one?
I loved it.
That
Wow.
was fantastic. I watched that about 5
Wow.
times.
Did you? Oh, my God. I loved it. I thought it was great.
Yeah.
But again, I felt sad as it came to an end, too, with that.
Yeah, me too. Me too.
It's just, oh, my gosh. Just the sacrifice. It's just, oh, my God. I don't know.
And then even after he passed, the publicist said, "Oh, he it was a watermelon diet he was on," and watermelon diet. I mean, really,
Oh, it's a watermelon diet. Don't worry.
all those deaths from the watermelon diet over the years.
It's just wow. You're here, and then it's just wow. Then it's gone. One day it's gone. It's just wow.
That's it.
That's showbiz, as they say.
Showbiz.
There's no and I kept thinking. What I wanted to watch again was Death. I watched Death Become Her, the slime tutorial on a thing a few times.
Oh yeah.
Especially Act 2, because Act 2 I thought was the strongest for me. And
Haven't finished watching it.
it's gone. They took it down.
Oh,
I said, isn't that convenient? I said, gee, I wonder if they did that just to give the public a taste, a tease.
oh, isn't this funny? My aunt that was just in here, I didn't know, texted the family group chat.
Oh,
Something about Disney taking away the flags,
what flags?
the American flags. I don't know. I'm going to open this.
Really?
I don't know if I can.
This is my impression of a straight man who has a crush.
Oh, boy.
I don't know if this will play while I'm on live. Oh, I think I recognize this guy. He's a troublemaker.
Okay.
You know that all the Disney World theme parks are going to be removing the American flags? They say it's a little controversial for them to keep American flags up all year round. So what they're going to do, the solution is to rotate other flags in for the U.S. flag throughout the year. So here's some of the other flags they're going to be rotating in as of May 25th, 2025.
Wow.
They're going to do the Black Lives Matter flag.
Oh, this is fake.
It's got to be
They're going
fake.
to do the pride flag.
Disney would not.
I know that they're going to
conform.
the American flag.
I got to show you this guy.
Because they say that if they just keep the American
He
flag
sounds
up,
like trouble.
it comes across as being controversial, and they want their customer to feel like they're welcomed, and they want an inclusive and welcoming environment. So after it just came out, and they
This is paranoia.
even made
This
the
is
20th
real
what it costs to
real
make
cuckoo.
them Disney.
Oh,
Now they're doing well. I mean, I guess
oh
the
boy.
American flag to some people is hard to look at.
That is the most crazy shit.
I mean, why though? Why would he make this up?
Well, I'll tell you right now. Here's my other aunt says that it's a report from a satirical news source.
Of course.
It's a fake story. It's just they're making fun of it. They're making fun of all this, and these MAGA people, they fall for it every time.
But this is the thing. This is right. Is this considered media literacy where people need to get?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So, like you always say, media literacy, folks. Hello.
Yeah, that's why. Oh, it's funny you say that. One of my favorite creators is on live right now. I got to change my account,
Yeah.
though. And it's all about media literacy.
Listen to this guy. He said, in my Veterans Affairs office in Orlando, Florida, they removed the American flag to put a pride flag in its place When I served, I did not salute this flag. This is an incredible. Well, the pride flag doesn't represent, though, isn't a replacement for the American flag, though. So I don't know why people are insinuating that that's what we're doing. At least that's my understanding.
Well, people are very confused, when they
Why,
see
though?
well, because inside they're very dark and miserable and something is missing in them.
Yes.
Usually anybody that I've met in my 50 years of life that is against flags, homophobic, they themselves are battling inside with their own homosexuality, their own same-sex attraction, whatever you want to call it,
Right.
or whatever. That's really what it all boils down to. So the flag to them is a reminder of what's inside them. And it may even not be that they are 100% one way or the other, because not everything is. But what, again, they don't understand is not only that, what I just said, but the history of humanity. There have been humans that have always been like this since the beginning of humanity. Gay, straight, trans, this, that, two-spirited.
Right.
I mean, this just goes on from the beginning of, it's just part of human nature and the animal kingdom, as we know. It's everywhere. It's natural. But they read a book written by these old Jewish men that say, they Gavalt and this and that. It's all translated 100 different languages, so they swap out words, and Mike Pence and this guy Vance is wearing eyeliner. I mean, what do you do next?
Well, I tell you what you do. You vote in nasty people, and you keep on spreading your hatred.
Spread it.
Right? Right. Spread your legs while you're at it.
By the way, I don't know. Do you know the reality TV show stars? I think, what is their name? Chrisley?
Oh, I saw it. Ridiculous.
They're getting pardoned.
Yes, ridiculous.
Speaking of gay not being gay.
I was going to say, he's a flaming homosexual.
Oh, God. They used to do a funny skit on Saturday Night Live.
Listen, I don't know why SNL goes off the year. They should just stay on through the summer months. I mean,
maybe they could have had like a summer cast.
They really should think about it, because a lot of stuff is going on that, wow, it would be great.
Maybe maybe it's a money thing.
Oh, I'm sure, yeah.
Here's a message from the I-90 Newton Bridge replacement. Mass Department of Transportation inspecting heavy traffic. I-90. Starting Friday, May 30th through June 2nd. They're replacing the bridge over the MBTA Worcester commuter rail in Newton.
Really?
Thank you. Thank you for
Thank
that.
you.
I think I'm getting a headache. Pride Month is coming up. Yeah.
That's right. That's right. Are you excited? Well,
I'm very excited.
Busy, though.
No, I'm not going to be busy. I mean, I've got to do my work, as you know. I mean, I have certain things, and I am in a bit of a transitional period. But no, you've mentioned that you enjoy it, and you want to do some Boston activities. And
if you'd like to join me.
Oh, I'm definitely up for it. I don't know what. I don't know what.
You don't know if you're ready to see the other side.
That side. Well, you have warned me that there's another side of you
that you've never seen before.
And her name is Susan. Or Brandy or Brenda.
Right. Miss
Brenda Scoop. Brenda Scoop.
No, Brenda Clams. Clam fingers.
Brenda C. Clams.
I know where we should go. Never mind Boston. If you want to see, whoa, right over that bridge you're looking at. Go all the way down.
Oh, to P-Town?
Oh.
Debauchery. Debauchery.
You know it. That's where we should probably be going.
Well, I mean, isn't the summer like the most expensive?
It's the only time they're open, too, though. Well, I've always gone though, if I've ever gone, around this time of year though, when it's not too bad still.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know I'm possibly I'll tell you because my friend Stephen and Tim's are there and they're having their Pride Day. I think it's the first weekend. What is that? The 6th or the 7th? I think it's the 7th. Well, if I get a room, if you want, you can come.
Oh, you think you might do that actually? Really?
I might do it. I was thinking of it last night because he actually emailed me. He said, think about trying to get a room somewhere that's cheap enough because things are still cheap somewhat. I said, yeah, let me see. He said, yeah, you should think about it. He said, get dressed up, walk around the streets and cause a scene and maybe do tea dance and, everyone goes home or you just do whatever after.
And where is he? Has he lived there or he's staying there?
Now
Are they?
He introduced me back in 1999 to that town. It was a blizzard that came in, and we were working out at the hotel, and he took me down. We had a hell of a time in the snow down there, and we did the Wizard of Oz.
Well, now when you say you did the Wizard of Oz,
in the middle of a snowstorm,
you reenacted the Wizard of Oz on the streets.
Sure did. Not a soul in sight.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wild.
But the funny thing is, though, once you hit Memorial Day, if you look at some of these websites, they actually show you the price changes.
Yes.
Which is...
I've seen their pricing for this season. It's not nice.
Yeah, I haven't looked this season, but I know I've seen a lot of people complaining. I think like a lot of places when the gays come in and they make it a destination and the prices go up, it prices people out of it too,
Well, right. And that's always been distinct. I used to always go up until the year, I think 2017 or 18. I think I stopped going around there. I would go religiously for a whole week in August.
Wow.
Yeah. And we'd all go, everyone would, but, for whatever reason, it just, I don't know, fizzled out. The pricing, it became with the pricing. Just very aggressive, just like nasty, and they demanded most places used to demand a full 7 nights. Oh, yeah, so brutal. I mean, you're looking at close to $2,000 or more, depending upon where you stayed.
Yeah,
that's outrageous.
And that's just to stay at the.
That's just to sleep.
That's not the shows, the food, and everything.
Exactly. The food, if you wanted to even have one drink, oh my God, that includes nothing.
Yeah.
You still have to get there. Yeah, well, like I always say, greed brought you here. When I, see places start to hurt financially, I say, well, people are going to hold on to their dimes and nickels,
Dimes and nickels and no more pennies, apparently.
Well, I haven't decided. I may just do a day trip and take the boat down. And if you wanted to, you could take your car down and meet me there if I go on the 7th. Yeah.
That's cool. Okay, well, let's keep that.
I was going to text you last night, and then I said I forgot. I got distracted. And then I said, I just thought of it now because you brought up the whole Pride thing.
Well, okay, we'll definitely do something. I just, I'm just in, as you know, a transitional period. I've been in a transitional period for about 20 years now. So,
how's that feel?
It's like, honestly, I was thinking about it. It's exhausting. It's like 8 years.
You've been going through it a while. Yeah,
one thing after another. I'm trying to think. What are we?
They say a whole decade. Wow.
No, maybe since 17, things got choppy.
Isn't that funny? Because that's when I feel like things for me kind of became somewhat a little iffy. Like, and then the C-19 came in and really threw everything.
Oh yes. Well, I'm including that in everything as well.
Yeah.
That really, really put everybody upside down.
But that time of transition, see, it started for you around the same time it did for me. That's interesting. 2017, 2018. Interesting.
Well, remember who became president?
Oh, that's right. And oh my gosh, I'll never forget. I got a phone call in '91.
Yeah.
This guy, a friend of mine, I don't know where he is today. He went, look, and I said, you have to relax. And he got so angry because I said, let's try to breathe. Let's just try to relax. I don't think you should fly off the handles just because no, that's it. And oh my God, he was so angry. And I think he got pissed off at me because I was trying to, talk him off the ledge.
I know.
I mean, he really did lose his marbles. And I said, because
I did too.
And I understand that. And I know a lot of people lost their marbles over it. But also, I don't know. It was sad.
Well, but I do relate that to the beginning of things really changing.
It really did change everything.
Personally, professionally, the country,
it opened
really.
up the door for a lot more hatred to come in.
Sure did.
Non-inclusive behavior to seep its way.
I was just so ready for a woman president. And
I was
Hillary and
right.
Her background, and forget all the nonsense stories and all that. Yeah. The conspiracy. I mean, it's just ridiculous. I mean,
oh, I know, and I only bring that up because I like to. I guess is that sarcasm? I only like to do it because I know it's a hot topic for the other side. Service.
Oh yeah, I don't mean.
So I always bring it up because I just think it's a riot. So
there's something.
Look at this cruise ship on its way up.
There's like I think a tugboat is pulling that. I don't know what it is. A barge. It's coming our way, I think. Meanwhile, this guy's still looking.
I know. He's still looking for the.
He's not a very good fisherman, is he?
He's been standing there for the whole hour.
He just floats around.
He doesn't do anything for a living anyway. He just says, yeah, I'm out here. Don't worry.
I zoomed in as much as I possibly can.
Wait till these phones really zoom. Whoa.
Yeah, well, you can get, obviously, you can get this attachment that'll really zoom up to Mars. What is that thing?
What is that coming?
I don't know.
It's all the tariffs.
The tariffs. There's another ship. Oh, we're going sideways. Getting seasick.
I know that you're in a transition, and that's why I appreciate when any time we get to talk, because your time's so limited with everything going on and all this stuff.
Well, I don't mean that. It's just like I feel like I can't commit to anything in the future because, like, I could be living in my car tonight,
Yeah, but you really can't because you're in the middle of this transition period where you're trying to move.
Yeah.
Organize. What are you going to take? What are you going to?
I'm trying to. I'm being forced to. I'm frustrated.
It's very difficult to decide what to take, what not to take.
Yeah, I mean that bothers me.
It's very, very difficult, and it's very emotional.
Oh,
very emotional, and people don't realize that are listening. Don't realize how emotional that really is until you have to decide. Gee, I can only take one item out of all the things I have.
Yeah. Well, the thing that concerns me is all my equipment. Like that enough could fill up the room. Now, I just want to direct your attention, Bscoop, to the top of that bridge. That is an American flag, correct? Or is that a Mickey Mouse flag?
I was wondering what that was. I thought it was a person, but it looks like the transgender flag.
Oh.
What does the jury say? That ship's getting closer. It looks like the bridge is coming down.
I know. Well, that's the illusion. But what is it? What is it dragging? What is it pulling? What is that behind it? There's a tugboat and there's a thing.
It's Pee Wee Herman.
Who knew today was the funeral procession in the ocean on the day we were talking about the documentary? We love you, Pee Wee. We love you, Pee Wee. Oh, yes, we do. We love you, Pee Wee. We'll be true.
Yes, we love you. And to think someone's probably got those puppets, those sunflowers.
I know. Where are they? Where's all his stuff?
Who's got those? Like, you know what I mean? Now, after this documentary, it's going to blow up, you know.
Yeah.
Who holds the rights to Pee-wee, the character?
Well, that's another good question.
Yeah.
You know what? I was thinking, who was the heir to his fortune and his
Who
stuff?
gets to take all this? Was it the woman who came in as the assistant? And
Yeah, I guess that she and that other guy were with him forever, so they're probably managing everything. Now, I want to tell you that this barge that's coming through, when I worked at the Children's Museum, I worked in public relations and marketing, and I was young in my early 20s. And they were going to expand the museum into into the ocean there on the wharf. You know, it's right on the water. And they were going to build the museum like another wing on the water and sort of compete with the aquarium, but it never happened. But the barge came over from the other side of the canal there, the wharf, the water, and I was dressed as a big giant fish because it was a big publicity thing with media. And my boss convinced me to get into this damn costume. And they had to hire like 6 scuba divers in case I fell into the ocean with this thing on.
Is that protocol?
What did you say?
Is that protocol?
That's protocol. Here's the barge. I'm not on it. I'm in the car. Having flashbacks.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, it wasn't even actually as nice as this ugly barge. Mine was just it was flat, blank. It had nothing on it. It was just like a floating piece of metal that they stuck me on.
So you're shoved in this costume.
It's windy as hell. I can barely move or see.
You might be thrown into the Atlantic.
Well, yeah, but I was young and kind of stupid, so I didn't get.
I know, it's amazing the stuff we will do. Well, we didn't know any better, though. I mean, we just go with it because it's exciting.
Oh, I will say, though, I also have the privilege of being on the front page, I think, of the Boston Herald. I was dressed as Cookie Monster, an official Cookie Monster costume from Sesame Street, and I was holding the director of the museum. He was a new director, and he was eating a giant cookie. And I was in the costume, so I can say I was on the front page of the Boston Herald tabloid newspaper.
Look at this piece of crap thing.
What's on there?
What is that?
Is that a prison? What does it say? There's a name on it.
It's got a trans flag on it.
Cement transporter.
A lot of trans going on down there.
There's a lot of cement. And don't try to go fishing.
Wow. Yeah. You can't miss that sign.
There they go. Oops. There they go. You saw me. Hi.
Hi there.
You see me in the mirror?
Hello. Hello.
I think my bladder is telling me to wrap this up.
Oh boy. Okay.
And it's probably been an hour and 23 minutes. So.
Oh my gosh, we could just go on and on and.
Good, and we should. We should.
It's the only thing that's awful though when we go on and on is, well, as we have found, is that it takes forever to download.
Yeah, that's the one thing TikTok.
What is going on with this platform? Did anyone buy it yet?
No,
why is no one talking about buying the platform? That's what concerns me.
We know it's going to be Trump.
Oh yeah, you wait.
He's going to buy it.
Well, why would he not? Right? I mean,
he's doing everything else. What are they doing over there?
Yeah.
All right. Well, no, I do have to do what I have to do, and
I hear you.
All right, Bscoop. I'll text you in a little while. Okay.
I'll be on standby.
Okay. Bye.